Hey everybody, Austin back again with another Let's Play video. This time we're going to be playing the Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest Zizzle Pinball. Hey, whoever said Let's Plays had to be relegated to just video games? I actually picked this thing up today. I found a good score on Craigslist. It only cost me about 40 bucks for this whole nice big table here. And, you know, I've actually been eyeing one of these things for quite some time now. Mostly due to space constraints. Yeah, that's great. Now, as many of you guys know that are subscribed to me, I recently got my own newer Stern pinball machine. And as much as I love it, you know, I've been wanting another pinball machine. And I know this thing right here got terrible reviews, but I figured, you know, if I can get one at a really good price, I can have fun with it for a week, take the legs off and just put it in storage and put it up against the wall or something. This thing, for one, is actually bigger than I thought it was going to be. I picked it up today, and I've spent about the last hour and a half with it, and just the thing that blows me away the most with this game is just how big it is. It was actually bigger than like I imagined it would be. Even though I've seen videos on it, it just seems a lot bigger in person than it is, you know, watching a video or seeing a picture or something like that. Yeah, so, man, where to start with this one? Well, first, I should probably start playing it, but I actually want to kind of talk while it's still a little bit quiet. As you can see back here, I've actually got the speakers kind of muted a little bit with cloth on top of them. Because I've never done a Let's Play like this before, where I just use the background sound for the music. I don't have a headset, I just have my condenser microphone, which kind of picks up everything in the room. So I've kind of got it jerry-rigged and ghetto-rigged right now. But, yeah, it should be fine. I did a couple test runs to make sure it sounds okay. I think we should be fine. But what I'll do is just kind of like my pinball video game Let's Plays. I'll just try to explain how the table works. Again, I just got this today. I'll give my usual opinions and stuff like that. Is this worth buying? Blah, blah, blah. I know it gets terrible reviews, so I'll definitely talk about that. But I'll also talk about like the shots, what I've picked up so far from playing this on my own, you know, what's safe, what's not safe, what you can abuse and what you can't abuse. So yeah, let's go ahead and hit the start button. There's actually a start button right on the front of the machine here. And there's also a volume knob. And unfortunately, you cannot turn the volume completely down on this game. It always has to be up. And what you're going to hear is actually the very lowest setting. And it's the sort of semi-muted lowest setting, since I have, you know, the ghetto pads on front of the speakers. So let's go ahead and hit start.
We got to defeat that monstrous Davy Jones!
And you know, like I said, this thing was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be actually a little bit smaller. And what's actually kind of cool about its size, it is actually tall, too. It's actually not that much, you know, lower from a height perspective than a real pinball machine. I mean, a real pinball machine is probably just... I mean, this is pretty darn close. And so, what's kind of nice is I can just kind of lean over and just sort of do my thing like I would on a normal pinball machine. That's really cool. That's one thing I really like about this table. The flippers, they have flipper buttons on both sides of the machine. It's they feel a little weird. They're not the same kinds of switches as you have on real pinball machines. No leaf switches or anything like that as far as I'm aware. It feels kind of like there's something in there, but it's very hard. It's really hard to explain, but it actually leads to a problem in this game, and probably the biggest problem with this Zizzle pinball machine. Now, before I actually talk about that, I also want to get this out of the way, is that this is the 2006 model of the Pirates of the Caribbean Zizzle pinball. Zizzle did release two different versions of their two tables. First, there was the Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest, and then there was a Marvel table. And then in 2007... they basically sort of redid both of those games, added new artwork, added a lot more lights and so forth, and essentially, you know, fixed a few things on them. And apparently they look nicer, they play a little bit better. So yeah, we're playing the first run, edition, whatever you want to call it, Pirates of the Caribbean game. So, yeah, let's go back another step. The flippers, like I was mentioning. They let's just say they feel like crap. This game does not get very good reviews from pinball purists, although there is the occasional good review saying, hey, if you really stick with the game, you can have fun with it, etc., etc. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. From playing this game for the last hour and a half, 2 hours now, I could say it's actually kind of a fun game. But the most frustrating part about it are probably the flippers. Sometimes the flipper will drop even though you've got the button held down. It's like it just stops registering for some reason. Also, if you don't push it just right, like just dead center, it might not register. Like I'm pushing it from the bottom. I mean, not literally like pushing up, but I'm pushing in, but towards the bottom or towards the top of the flipper seems to work kind of iffy. I'm pushing the button. You can hear me pushing the button. I know because this mic picks up everything, and it's not always working. That's kind of frustrating. And the same goes for the right one. But if you hit it dead center, it works more than it doesn't. But it's still finicky, so it's something you have to be really careful with. And that's actually going to lead me into one of the things you should probably get used to abusing in this game. And I'll get to that later. But, yeah, okay. So before I plunge the ball, well, first let me say, to plunge the ball actually does not pop out. Like it does in a real pinball machine. At least not when you hit the start button. On a real pinball machine, you hit start, and the ball kicker kicks the ball out into the plunger lane. That doesn't happen in this one. And that actually threw me off when I was testing this at the lady's house whom I got this from. It was a Craigslist deal. I went to try it out, and then I bought it. And when I hit start, I was like, oh no, it's broken. What's happening? I drove all the way out here to get this, and it's not. And I pulled the plunger back, and it's kind of like an old Tommy pinball, like tabletop pinball game, where it's there are no electronics in there as far as I'm aware. It's just sort of like a manual crank that pushes the ball into the plunger lane. So if I pull it back, the ball's going to go there and it's going to come out. Now, unfortunately, you probably can't see it on the camera, but that's basically how it works. But all right, so now we got the ball there. Before I plunge, I'm going to go ahead and explain the playfield. First, you got these lights in the center of the playfield. Okay, they basically designate specific shots that you have to complete. Now, this is a very simplistic pinball game. This is not deep to the degree of pretty much any real pinball machines that aren't electromechanical. Basically, you have these lights. They designate certain shots. For instance, the skull ramp light designates the left ramp, which you can shoot it up the ramp, and it can either fall down the center there, behind the treasure chest, or it can fall out up there. There's a tiny little switch up top that it'll trigger, and it'll register as a full ramp shot. Now, the first time you hit a shot, the light will light, and it'll start blinking. And what you want to do is actually get each light to be solid, kind of like they are right now. And to do that, you hit each shot 3 times. So, the treasure chest up here, that is the center blue light. But if you'll notice, in front of the treasure chest, there are 3 green lights, and that actually tells you how many times you've hit it. And once you hit it all 3 times, the center blue shot will light, and it'll stay solid. The far right blue light, I believe, is the right orbit. I haven't been able to get this one because the spinner up here, there's a spinner in pinball, is a little sort of thing you hit, and it spins, and it sort of builds your points and registers really fast. It's sort of like a mainstay in pinball. It's part of what makes pinball pinball. Unfortunately, my spinner, it spun, and then it came flat. So basically, I have this little board that's supposed to spin around like this, and it's sitting flat. And if I hit the ball up there, it rolls straight under it, doesn't hit the spinner, so the spinner doesn't spin, and it doesn't register. And because of that, I haven't been able to get this far right blue shot lit, like completely. If I shake the machine a lot, sometimes the spinner will kind of spin slowly back down so I can actually hit it, but that's only happened like once. So, okay. Now this second from the right blue light, it's the right ramp naturally. And the far left blue light is actually where the skill shot is. It's this little target right here, and it's got a sort of an orange light that's fading in and fading out. You want to hit that target 3 times, and you'll solidly light that light. Now, again, I've never completely lit everything, you know, I haven't solidified technically every single light, so I haven't gotten to the end mode in the game. Now you're saying, well, that's really simple. Well, yeah, I mean, this is kind of a pinball machine geared towards kids. I mean, that's what it was marketed towards, but I think they wanted it big enough so adults could still have fun with it as well. And, you know, this is actually far deeper than your average, well, pretty much any other kid's pinball game. So me being sort of the pinball fanatic I am now, I actually still have fun just going for 3 shots on each shot. And you'd be surprised, but some of the shots are actually kind of difficult. Hitting this right orbit, so difficult. I mean, I can hit the right orbits on pretty much any other pinball game with no trouble at all. But with how the flippers act, like the shot is just extremely difficult. I get it maybe like 1 out of 15 tries, literally. So I mean, this game, it's not a cakewalk, it's challenging. So, and that's where it's kind of cool. So, but I basically explained, well, the basics of the gameplay. You've got apparently advanced bonus multipliers. There are little switches on the in lanes and out lanes here. And all the way up top, you've got some green blinking lights, and those are advanced bonus multipliers as well. Now, as far as what I can tell, bonus doesn't really do a whole lot in this game. You're better off just shooting a ton of shots and completing your modes. That's where most of the points come from, is just completing your modes. The left ramp, for instance, you get 1,000,000 points per shot. Now, that's not much once your score gets up to like 200 or 300 million. 350 something million, I think, is my highest right now. And, but you could keep milking it if you want, and then it rolls up here, hit some other triggers, you get more points, and you can hit another shot, you get more points, you know. But, before you solidly light the light, you know, you're getting 1,000,000 per shot, but when you do solidly light it, you get like 5 or 10 million points. So, if you can complete the modes, your score will actually go up a lot faster than if you just keep hitting the same ramp over and over for 1,000,000. So, but, okay. That's basically it. So let me go ahead and plunge the ball out. Now, one of the complaints people have sometimes is when you plunge the ball, it'll hit the skill shot and go straight down the middle, or you'll plunge it and it won't even hit anything and it'll go straight out the left out lane. And that's happened a couple times for me. But while they advertise in this game, let me get the ball out. While they advertise on the game that you can tilt, I've only tilted this game twice, and you can shake the hell out of this machine. Now, on real machines, especially if you're playing in league play or competitive tournament play, really pushing the machine around is pretty much illegal. There's a thing called a bang back on a real pinball machine where you can punch the pinball. You see how the ball bounces up? It's right there. By banging it up, sometimes it'll come out and you can bang the machine to get the ball back up in the playfield. Those are illegal in tournaments. There's also one called the death save where the ball rolls down and you kick the machine over like this, and you kick the ball back up into the playfield, and that is illegal as well. But on this game, because of how finicky the flippers are, and because of how often it goes down the left out lane, I actually recommend getting used to doing those moves, as well as pushing the crap out of this machine, because what's going to happen is the ball's going to go straight down the middle a lot. Now, I saw one guy on YouTube actually mod the crap out of this game. He changed how like the shots worked, where the posts were, and he put a post dead center on the center of the table, because the ball goes down straight down the middle so often. And the flippers are actually farther apart when they're up than they are on a newer modern pinball machine, which makes saving it much more difficult. So what you're going to see me doing is shaking the table around like crazy, because you have to do that in order to basically keep your game going. So, alright, just want to make sure that it's still in view. So, alright, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go for that ramp shot, because it seems to be one I can get pretty decently. And, it seems to work pretty well. So let's try to hit that one more time. Okay, so I got it twice, and you notice how it's blinking now? Oops. What I'm going to try to do is actually post-transfer it, which on Real Pinball, you can hit the bottom of the slingshot post to bounce the ball back over. And what I really, really like about this game is that you can actually do some real pinball tricks in it. For instance, the post-transfer. Now, this doesn't always work for two reasons. For one, if you do it right there, it doesn't work because... And this actually goes to people's other complaints with this game, is that the flippers are so big compared to the slingshots that they actually sit kind of underneath the slingshot, and that's not like a real pinball machine. On a real pinball machine, this flipper is about at the edge of the slingshot. And so that leads you to not really be able to do a post-transfer quite in the same way as you would on a real pinball machine. But you can still do it. You can still do it. And I'm going to show you. Actually, I'm going to death save it, just like that. See, that right there is one reason why I kind of like this game. Being able to do stuff like that and not feel guilty about it or being thrown out of a bar. It's fun. And I get the ball back. Here, I'm trying to get control of the damn ball, but I keep messing up. And that's the flipper. I barely let go of the flipper, and it dropped. But what I'm going to do is let the ball drop a little bit and try to hit the edge of the post and get it back over here, like that. See, I just post-transfer just like on a real pinball machine. Now, there's other things you can do as well. You can do a live catch where the ball comes down and you raise the flipper right at the right time. That's having a hard time registering. Maybe because I'm holding the other flipper up at the same time. That could be a power issue right there, actually, because that sometimes happens on real pinball machines. When they don't get enough power, they start acting weird. Things start disengaging when they're supposed to be engaged, etc., etc. Okay, so, but as I was saying, you know, you could do some real pinball things in this game. There's the live catch, there's the post-transfer I just showed you. But you can also do drop catches, where you drop the flipper right as the ball hits it, and the ball kind of stops its momentum and just kind of goes down with the flipper. It doesn't like bounce off crazy or roll anywhere. It just kind of says, hey, oh, I'm gonna go with the flow and just go with the flipper. So as the flipper's dropping, the ball kind of stops and does the same thing. And then usually the ball kind of stops and it just starts creeping forward instead of going crazy. And you can get an educated aimed shot through a drop catch. And you'll see me doing that. Okay, so this right ramp up here, you'd say, hey, you should probably go for that. But I'm actually not going to. Because what I found is that this left flipper, getting it up that ramp is tough. It'll go up and then come back down. Now what's kind of interesting is that normally in real pinball, it's easier to hit it from a standstill. And it usually goes up, it works. But in this, it only seems to go up better when it's already coming down or, you know, in motion already. So I'm not going to try to hit that right ramp unless the ball's already in motion. Oops, see, there it is again. The switch was misfiring. What I'm going to do is go for that center chest, though. There's a target up here to hit the chest. See, there's one. That's kind of a live catch, sort of. Kind of, not really. So I'm going to try to actually post-transfer it back over because it seems like it's easier to hit from the left flipper. Oops, and that did not work, but that did. There you go. You can actually, as the ball rolls down, just tap it up and you'll kind of like stop its motion. What I'm going to do is try to go for the chest one more time to finish it. And that's it. Now the right ramp, I'm sorry, not the right ramp. That was convenient. It went back into the plunger lane. That actually happens a lot, which isn't that bad. Because, hey, gives you time to breathe without the flipper buttons screwing up on you. But you notice the left ramp is lit now. If you hit that, now it's 1,000,000 per shot. Actually, I think it's 1,000,000 per shot anyway, but it's just lit now. Probably telling you that you're completed with it. Something like that. I have no idea. And what's another thing that's kind of fun about this machine is that this is not a real size pinball. It's actually sort of like a 3/4 of the size or something like that. And so it bounces around a lot easier. If you like kick the machine, if you push it, the ball actually goes a lot farther than it does on a real pinball machine. Part of that's due to the ball size. There's less mass to it. It's easier to push around. But the other reason is that there's less mass to the table itself. So your hits, you know, they make a much bigger difference than they do on a real pinball machine. So there are a lot of situations where people complain about the ball draining, but if you give it a good smack, you're not going to tilt, and you're going to basically put the ball where you want it to go. So, alright, now the far left light is blinking, so that's this post, that target over there. Let's go ahead and try to hit that. And it's kind of a tricky shot from what I've played so far. Oh, that was awful.
Not so easy, is it, mate?
You tried playing and talking at the same time, asshole. Alright, so now it's already lit. It's blinking once because I hit it once. So if you get the skill shot, it actually counts towards finishing getting this light completely solid. So if I can make that skill shot, which is actually kind of tough. I missed it, but whoa, see, flipper dropped again. Oh, what the hell am I doing?
Not so easy, is it, mate?
Oh, man. Okay. Now, it's actually really hard to tell how many balls you have in this game. It says, blah, 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 player 1, plunge. And it takes forever for it to cycle through to say how many balls you have. So, I don't know what ball I'm on right now. It's probably ball 3. And you can have either 3 or 5 balls in this game. The 5 balls, I think it might be due to getting extra balls. I think it's 3 balls by default. But if you get extra balls, you can go up to 5. And I have no idea how to get extra balls. It might be points-based.
Welcome, mate.
And I missed the skill shot again. But I'm going to try to hit that left post. Or that left target. Oh, that was bullshit. Bull crap for all the kids watching. Alright, so I still got another ball. And this left out lane, it's like a vacuum. Part of it is because the top of the slingshots, it's a very thin kind of rubber. It's not like a real pinball machine where it's a big rubber band. It's really, once the ball gets down there, it's hard to get it out of there. I mean, you can try shaking the machine, but it doesn't really work all that well. So, one of my biggest complaints with it. Some people that like to mod these games, they say just block that left out lane because it's so troublesome. It goes down the right out lane much less, but even if it does go down the right out lane, you can just push the machine, shake it, and get it back up to the play field. Basically what you want to do is when it comes down, hold the left flipper up, cram the machine over, the ball will bounce over on this little wall and go straight back up. So, because you can do that, the right out lane is really not all that dangerous. It's that left out lane, because you can't do that from the left as far as I can tell. So, alright. Let's push it over. Well, I got the little target once, and I got it a third time. And you see me bouncing it around, just kind of like on a real pinball machine. You can do that, and you really do have to go crazy with literally pushing the machine up like that. Some of you guys watching are probably like purists. You're like Zizzle fans and purists, and you're probably like, no, don't do that. But hey, if it doesn't tilt me, then I'm gonna do it. If I'm at a bar and the machine is light on the tilt, and if I can actually death save it, I will try to death save it. Because if I'm just playing solo, if I'm just playing solo, I'm using extra balls, I'm not in like tournament playing, not playing against anybody. I'm going to do whatever I can to keep my game going, to get the highest score possible. But in actual competitive play, yeah, I'm totally against, you know, death saving. I totally understand why people don't want people to do it. But, yeah, but if I'm not just some random bar and it's just me playing, yeah, I'll try to shove the machine. And with this one, I mean, you can get away with it, so do it. And actually, with this game, you really want to do it because it's, oh my, damn, man, it's a hard game. I mean, you're gonna have really short ball times if you don't do something about getting your ball away from the lanes, the out lanes, or getting it back up to the playfield. So, okay, I basically explained everything there is to know about the game that I know of so far. I know there's a couple extra things. The chest up here, there's a target, but there's actually a loop around lane up there as well, which is actually really cool. If you shoot it straight up, it hits the loop and it comes right back to the opposite side. And I didn't realize that would happen when I just saw pictures and video of the game. I didn't see anybody shoot it up there. And when I hit it for the first time, I was like, oh wow, it flew right back at me. Really cool. If I could actually hit that spinner, if the spinner was actually working. Actually, let me,
Not so easy, is it,
well, that's a tilt. It actually tilted. Come on, spinner. Hey! The spinner came back out. And I got a free bird shot on it. So let's bring the ball back out.
Welcome, baby.
Let's try to hit that spinner, which is gonna be, oh, the goddamn, the flippers are so unresponsive. They're so unresponsive. Okay, when he says that, he says shoot the skull ramp. And the skull ramp is, again, the left ramp in the game. And you know what's funny? When I first heard him say that, I thought he kept saying, shoot the sky ramp. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. It's kind of up, you know. But then I was like, wait, pirates don't fly. And then I looked down here and it said skull ramp. And I was like, oh, okay. So again, I'm going to go for that chest up in the center, because this is an easy shot. Again, I'm thinking that extra balls are granted just through score, because I don't see an extra ball target anywhere. And I completed it already. So what I'm going to do is actually complete the modes to build my score. I'm already at 33 million for basically completing those modes. So what I'll try to do is hit the right orbit. Oh, I got it! It's a really, you'd be surprised, but it's actually a really tough shot. And you can hit that spinner coming from the left as well, but I don't know how much it registers. Wow, I'm up to 43 million already. That was like 10 million just for those couple shots. Push the machine pretty well to get it to come out of the left out lane. Oh, it happened. One of the things that happens is the right ramp. When it comes up the right ramp, it comes down this rail and hits this black post, or the stopper. The black stopper is actually probably supposed to stop the ball and let it drop into the in lane. Most of the time, probably 9 times out of 10, that doesn't happen. What happens is the ball hits the edge of it and it bounces over the slingshot. And what happened there is total ownage by the game. It went straight down the middle. I should have really shook the game, but I didn't. I'm still getting into the habit of actually shaking the game when it rolls over that slingshot. That's something you really want to watch out for. And I know it's not exclusive to mine because I've actually seen it in all the YouTube videos I've watched. So What am I doing, man? Oh. No, it's not so easy, isn't it, matey? Oh, this is supposed to be a kid's game, damn it. This isn't easy like a kid's game. Alright, well, I hit the upper ramp once, so it's blinking, so I should probably go for that. But I kind of want to just go for the spinner, because the spinner's actually down. For all I know, for all intents and purposes, you know, the next time in 5 minutes, it won't be down anymore. And it'll be stuck back up, it won't register. I love hitting that left ramp. It actually, for as kind of like slow as the ball goes up it actually feels kind of good. It's kind of a decent feeling shot. I like it. Oh! Man. Just trying to get it back in view for you guys. Alright, well, let's do it again. What time are we at right now? Oh, man. It's been 30 minutes already, guys. Alright, well, what I'm going to do is just play a couple more games. My Let's Plays are usually longer than this. They're usually like 30 minutes to 45 minutes to an hour. Well, we can at least go to the 45-minute mark. I'll try to actually have a good, serious game. Hit that ramp again. Back to the plunger. And this game does have audio triggers, just like kind of a real pinball machine would. Like when he says hit the skull ramp, that means you've already hit it once, and he's basically saying complete the mode. So I completed the treasure chest already. Got that left ramp. Got the spinner. Oh no, the spinner's stuck again. God. Alright, this worked last time. Ah, so that's what you have to do. You have to smack it. God, that right ramp sucks. Sucks hardcore. You can hit that left ramp. It's not too bad to go for, because again, it's kind of like easy points. It's only 1 million a shot, but yeah. Oh, but each of the pop bumpers is. Oh, why did I do that? I should have gone the other way. Ah, damn. Damn it. The pop bumpers. I was watching the score reel, and that's something I haven't really been paying attention to too much. And apparently the pop bumpers give you 1 million per shot. So if you can shoot that ramp, it always drops it in the pop bumpers. You can get, I don't know, you get the potential to get 5 to 10 million if it really bounces around up there. It just will not go up that right freaking ramp. Oh, I tilted. Ah. I actually kind of like it when it tilts because, like, it adds a little bit of extra layer to the challenge, you know? Instead of me just, like, throwing the machine around and it doesn't tilt. But as you can tell, I don't know if it's just my machine or if it's just standard to other Zizzle pinball machines, but the tilt's just... it's very, very, very... extremely loose on mine. Now, there's actually something else I wanted to talk about. I don't know if this is related to just mine as well. Maybe I have a short or something. But what I notice happens is when I'm playing and shooting around, all the lights start blinking. They do like a quick flash through, and then the slingshots just start bouncing on their own. You've seen that happening a lot, I'm sure. I don't know why that happens. I've watched other YouTube videos and I haven't seen that happening. So I have a feeling there might be something wrong with my game, and unfortunately there's not a whole lot of forum help out there or troubleshooting, because Zizzle's gone under and nobody really liked these or bought these, so you know, there's not a whole lot of chatter about these Zizzle pinball machines, not a whole lot of useful chatter anyway online about them. So yeah, but I can still play the game. Everything else registers, and okay, the spinner is good. Got the spinner. God, did it again, man. That's game over. Did it again. So you really got to watch out for that. And I'm not catching it. I should be able to save it by lifting the machine up like that. I should be able to save it. No, seriously. I should be able to shake the machine and save it. So, okay, get it back in position. Let's give it another go. I mean, these games don't last too long when I'm not talking and stopping to talk. It's always good to get that ramp out of the way, because once you complete it, it's, you know, a decent little amount of... Oh, for frick's sake, man. Not so easy, isn't it, really? Some of the sound effects do get a little old after a while, especially if you're getting your butt handed to you. There we go, completed it. Now I'm up to 20 million points already. I just did a tap pass completely by accident. And that is where you tap the flipper so lightly, it literally just kind of nudges the ball over to the other flipper. That's really, really hard for me to do in real pinball. That's one of the last skills I really need to get comfortable with doing in real pinball is tap passing. It's really useful, especially for the old machines like electromechanicals and the early solid state games. It's really, really hard for me to do it on newer modern games, and that's not something I really see a whole lot of people doing anyway. So now there's actually one guy I play with in League, and he can do it. He was actually able to do it on the Rolling Stones before I bought it, and that's just blew me away. Okay. As you'll notice, I haven't really been drop catching, but that was a drop catch right there. And that was just the flipper not registering. Let's go for that that right spinner. Ah, I got one spin. That's awesome. One spin. I mean, the ball is so small and the playfield's so small, you can really just kill the machine by just, you know, moving it around like I'm doing. And if you can really be good about pushing it around like that, you can have some fun with this game. I mean, it's... Yeah, got it that time. Let's go for that right spinner again. See? Now I feel like I'm just cheating. Oh, shoot, man. Why did I do that?
Not so easy, is it, baby?
That's no easy, is it, matey? Alright. So I gotta get that right ramp again. Which again, like I said, it seems to work a lot better when the ball's already in motion. Let's death save it. Oh, it didn't work!
Is it, baby?
Ugh.
Welcome, baby.
Well, welcome. I'm happy to be here, I think. God, what am I doing, man? What I'm doing is having a hard time getting control of the damn ball because this is not your regular pinball machine. Even with being able to push it around like crazy, it is, it's still rough. Death saved it. Got it! Oh, the button didn't register! Oh! That is seriously frustrating when the button doesn't register. Because when it doesn't register, the ball drains like so. Let me try to get that right ramp. Got it. I gotta get one more on that right ramp. Such a tough little shot, mostly because the flipper doesn't respawn. And I end up flailing like a maniac. If you actually try to gauge your shot while it's still, it's probably not gonna got it back out. It's probably not gonna go up if I just try to gauge it. Oh, see, it keeps dropping on me. Now, this game can actually teach you some real pinball skills. It's actually kind of a good trainer for kids, because especially with how kind of poorly designed it is, it will train kids to use the tops of the slingshots to bounce the ball around. It'll teach them to shake the machine. Now, obviously, once they get to a real pinball machine, they're gonna have to, you know, adjust. And because most games are gonna be set pretty tight on the tilt. But you know, it's actually a good building block. So if you got a kid and you don't have maybe the room for a real pinball machine, or you know, maybe they're just too small to play real pinball, you know, get them this thing. It'll teach them some things. So where are we at? We got time for one more? We're at 45 minutes. Yeah, screw. Why not? We'll do one more.
We gotta defeat that monstrous Davy Jones!
That's funny. You can shake it so hard that it registers the the spinner on the right. Oh, why did I do that? Why did I do that?
Not so easy, is it, baby?
No, it's not so easy, as I've already said. I don't want it to hit the bottom of my mic stand, which I've probably already done a couple times in this whole video. It's sitting right next to my mic stand. There we go. We'll deal with that for now. Get a slightly better view. I think that's actually kind of how I meant to have it at the beginning of the video, because it's just a better view. Oh, Jesus freaking Christ, man.
Not so easy, is it, baby? The treasure is ours!
Button didn't register again.
Not so easy, is it, baby? We gotta defeat that monstrous Davy Jones! Good job, mate!
I haven't done it once yet. Damn it. Such a loser. I can't win at Zizzle Pinball. I just want to win at Zizzle Pinball. Yeah, I got the ramp. Whoa, my flipper dropped on its own. Let's get that ramp. I completed it. Oh, yeah. I'd really like to know why my slingshots are doing that, and I'd really like to know why these flippers suck so bad. Why did it just do that? I hit it in fully. Maybe it's getting like too hot and it's not registering now. Oh, you can't do that in a real pinball machine. I'm laughing too. This game is so... get back up there! Get back up there! Get back in there! Get back in there! Oh, bullshit! Alright guys, well I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. That was the grand finale. I wanted to hit that damn spinner on the right, and I couldn't. Now it's flat again. And it's flat, so I can't hit it. What I also tried doing is actually hitting the left orbit to get it around to hit the spinner, because there's also a switch up there, which might actually register towards this light on the far right. And yeah, every time I hit it up there, it didn't go all the way around. It like came up down here, rolled that way, or rolled that way, instead of rolling all the way around to hit the spinner. So got kind of gypped, and as you guys saw, I was having a really hard time hitting this right ramp, as well as the right spinner. The left ramp, super easy. I can hit that all day. Center shot, super easy if it's on this flipper. At least it's probably just how my floor is leaning. The right flipper, it's harder to hit that shot for some reason for me. But if the ball actually kind of rolls out slowly, and you can actually just tap it straight up, it's easier that way. Just roll it up, drop a flipper, and then tap it, smack it right up. Left shot over here is not too bad. You have no reason to go through the inner loop here, but the ball just does it through bouncing around. It's that target that really matters. So you get points for that. But those two shots, those are the harder shots in the game, in my opinion. If you're kind of interested to see more about this game, there's actually a couple really cool mods on YouTube. One guy, he took this, did something with it. He moved that, I think he moved that target all the way over here, something like that. With the plunger lane, he made it so the ball goes all the way up to the top of the playfield when you plunge, like a real pinball machine. Instead of coming out like that, the ball goes all the way up around, and you can actually let it drop up there for the skill shot. Oh, that's what he did. He replaced the skill shot and put it up there, so you could actually try to go for a real skill shot. Pretty cool stuff. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything like that. One thing I would like to do, though, is try to add more lights to the playfield if it's possible. Because the blinking lights you see, that's the only illumination on the playfield. That's it. And the back box doesn't light up either. So if you try to play this in the dark, it's pretty much impossible until you've got all the lights going. So it's basically a crapshoot until you actually make some shots. Make some shots and then turn the lights out. And then turn them back on, which you get a game over. I know that's kind of lame. But the more modern versions actually have illumination inside all the pieces. They have LEDs inside the slingshots, up there, over here. It looks really cool. And I was actually kind of hoping for this to be a 2007 model when I went to pick it up, but it was not. It was the first one. But still, you got to keep in mind, I only paid $40 for this thing. I mean, look how big it is. I mean, it's just, it's huge. $40 for this. It's way better than any other tabletop, modern kids pinball machine. It's fun enough to be fun for adults, people like you and I. It's, I'm still having a good time with it. I'll probably play it for about a week, and then put it away. Or donate it to someone. Will have gotten my $40 worth out of it. I was able to do this video. This is fun, just doing this. And, it's cool. Actually, I probably won't resell it or get rid of it. I'll probably just take the legs down, put it in a closet. But I definitely got my fix. I love my Rolling Stones machine that's in the other room, but I can't play it all the time because it's loud, and my brother and I's schedules, they kind of conflict. So he says it doesn't bother him if I come home and play it late at night, but I'm not buying it because that thing is super loud. I mean, even with the volume turned on, it's not just the volume, it's the flippers, it's the pop bumpers, it's all that stuff. So being able to have this in my room is kind of a nifty idea. I can play it late at night. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning right now. I'm playing this game. So cool stuff. It's definitely neat. If you can scour for one on Craigslist or something and get one really cheap, I'd say go no more than like $75 on this. If you can get a newer model. If you can get the 2007 model, I'd say go as high as $75. Maybe even $100, because apparently the flippers feel better. The playfield looks better, and the lighting alone it's worth it just for the lighting alone. I mean, I wanted to be able to play this in the dark, but I can't. And that kind of takes me back to the lighting. I'm going to see if there's actually a way to add lights. I actually have LEDs left over from my LED Rolling Stones upgrade kit. Granted, I think they're just red LEDs, but if I can get the whole playfield, at least the sides, illuminated, I could turn the lights out and play the game. It would be pretty rocking, And then after that, it would be a matter of maybe trying to fix the ramp so the ball actually goes up, and maybe putting some kind of post over here so the ball actually drops down like it's supposed to. And maybe even doing something like shaving the side of that post off so it's easier to hit that right shot. I think that right shot's way too hard to hit. The right side of the playfield is too hard to hit, and the left side's too easy to hit. So, what could be done is, yeah. There's a whole a couple guys that have just modded the crap out of their games, and it's really neat. So check those videos out on YouTube if you're interested in seeing that. I'm going to have to actually take a few hints as well and see if I can do a couple things. I don't know if I'm going to, because I'm not very good with, that sort of thing. But, I'm definitely going to look into seeing how difficult it would be to at least wire a few lights up and maybe see about... Apparently there's a way you can readjust where the power goes to, so you can get more power in the flippers, so the flippers hit stronger and hopefully are more responsive. So... but yeah, that's basically it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this sort of off-the-wall Let's Play. It's not a video game, but it's close enough to a video game in my opinion. It's still a game with rules. It's still about winning and losing and getting high scores. So I might in the future do a Let's Play on my Rolling Stones game. Probably not going to happen because it's so loud. I would need a headset to do that. Unfortunately, I don't have one good for recording. So... probably not going to happen, but maybe what I can do is just do like a tutorial video in that game or something like that. and just record the commentary track after recording the footage. So, but yeah, I won't hold you guys any longer. Thanks again for watching. If you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe. There's not a whole lot of, you know, pinball stuff like this, real video game / pinball stuff. It's all just regular video game stuff, you know, computer, digital entertainment. But if you're into that sort of thing, be sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll be back with some more videos sometime soon, guys. So until then, take care as always.